Hezbollah fire intensifies just a day after Iran and the U.S. signed their memorandum of understanding, casting an immediate shadow over the peace push. 4 Israeli soldiers are killed in southern Lebanon as Bibi appears to rebel against Trump's calls for restraint on the northern front. Is Bibi now paying the price on the battlefield after Vice President Vance's public dressing down over Israel's Lebanon operations? Is Trump's carefully curated Iran deal already in trouble, all because Netanyahu refuses to fall in line with Washington's plan? Israeli military officials said that 4 soldiers were killed in southern Lebanon as fighting intensified along the border. The deaths were reported as a shocking development by the Associated Press on June 19. This escalation comes just one day after Iran and the United States signed a memorandum of understanding on June 18 to cease hostilities. Donald Trump's Iran deal came under pressure on its very first day as Israel and Iran clashed over the Lebanon provisions. On June 18, the IDF said its troops would remain inside southern Lebanon despite commitments outlined in the U.S. Iran agreement. The IDF released a map showing Israeli forces holding positions extending up to 10 kilometers inside Lebanese territory. Israel said its soldiers remain deployed in a designated security zone and will continue removing threats near the border. The position appears to conflict with the U.S. Iran memorandum, which calls for an immediate halt to hostilities across the region. The agreement specifically references a permanent end to military operations on all fronts, including the Lebanon theater. Iran warned that Israel's continued military presence inside Lebanon could effectively undermine or nullify the agreement. Full implementation of the memorandum is a precondition for future negotiations, Iran's foreign ministry told Al-Akhbar. Ismail Baghai warned that a final agreement can only be reached if all parties fully respect the memorandum's provisions. Meanwhile, American Vice President Vance publicly scorned Netanyahu for ignoring Trump's requests to de-escalate and respect the new peace framework. Is Trump's carefully curated Iran deal already in trouble because of Netanyahu, whose refusal to budge in Lebanon could hand hardliners in Tehran the perfect excuse to walk away?
I want to talk back to the Lebanon component of the deal. There's a report in Axios that Netanyahu's fuming over this. Israel doesn't feel bound to the MOU as it relates to Lebanon. If, as you mentioned, your frustration with Israel striking in Beirut, hitting apartment buildings, if that continues, could it torpedo the deal? And what would the U.S.'s response be to a broader war in Lebanon involving Israel and Hezbollah?
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into hypotheticals that could torpedo the deal, because I think the president's expectation is that all of our friends, the Israelis, the Arabs in the region, we're going to work together and actually see this deal to completion. Now, I saw the Axios report, that Netanyahu is fuming. That's not reflective of the conversations that I've had with him, but maybe he's saying something to somebody else that he's not saying to me. What I will say, and this does bother me, is that you have seen people within Bibi's cabinet who have come out and attacked the deal, and in some ways very personally attacked the President of the United States. And I guess my message to them would be twofold. Number one, Donald J. Trump is the only head of state in the entire world who is sympathetic to the nation of Israel at this moment in time. And he happens to be the head of state of the world's superpower. If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world. And the second message I would give to some of those cabinet members, Bibi, to his credit, has not gone down this path, but to some of these cabinet members in Israel who are attacking the President of the United States, the other thing that I would say is that over the last 3 months, 2/3 of the defensive weapons that have protected your homeland have been built by American hands and paid for by American tax dollars. The problem for Israel is not Donald J. Trump. And anybody in Israel who thinks their biggest problem is the President of the United States needs to wake up and smell the reality of the situation that country is in. Thank you all.
We are standing today in Gush Etzion, on the main road between Jerusalem, the eternal city, and Hebron, the city of the patriarchs. Here, on this good mountain, between the ancient stone and the olive tree, between the spirit of the Bible and the spirit of heroism of our generation, the generation of victory, we say once again, the people of Israel have returned home, and we will remain here forever. Because this is our land. It is ours. We have returned to the place from which we came, to the road on which our forefathers walked. And therefore today, the government of Israel is granting Highway 60 the name it deserves, the Bible Road. This is not just a road paved with asphalt. It is a road paved with memory, with faith, with promise. Highway 60 leads from the Negev to the Galilee. But in fact, it leads much, much farther. It leads from our forefather Abraham to the soldiers of the IDF, from the generations of the Bible to the generations of the future. It passes through the places where the great story of our people was written. Every such place, without exception, is not just a point on the map. It is a chapter in our identity. It is proof that we are an ancient people, renewing its national life in its historical homeland, because the Bible Road is the root of our existence. Here, pioneers are building today. As I have just seen, here pioneers are building the chapter of the rebirth of the people of Israel in its land. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, by virtue of the truth. This is our land. This is our heritage. This is our way. Throughout the generations, our people, just as this road does, have known ups and downs. We have faced many challenges, and we have prevailed over them. In the war of rebirth, we achieved tremendous accomplishments against the axis of evil of Iran and its proxies. We pushed away from us the danger of immediate annihilation, and had we not acted in the two mighty operations, with the boldness of a lion and roar of the lion, with determination, daring, and supreme heroism by our fighters and our pilots, Iran would today have nuclear bombs for our destruction. But we did not let them. At that time, too, we broke the axis of evil, the choke ring that Iran tried to tighten around us. We are gripping Hamas in Gaza, where we hold more than 60% of the territory of the Strip. And in Lebanon, we have pushed the threat of a ground invasion away from our communities and shattered Hezbollah's missile power. There is still work to be done in both places, but we have done tremendous work. True, the struggle is not yet over, and additional challenges still lie ahead of us. And these require from us cool-headedness, steadfast defense of our security interests, and at the same time, preservation of the important connection with our American friends who fought at our side, shoulder to shoulder, and we greatly appreciate this. We will continue to steer our path with wisdom and prudence. We will preserve the achievements of the government. We will preserve the achievements of the war. These are the achievements of the entire people of Israel. Just as we restored security and prosperity to the communities around Gaza, so we will restore security and prosperity to the communities of the north. This requires maintaining the security zone in southern Lebanon. This requires that we do not leave there as long as Israel's security needs require it, because that zone separates Hezbollah terrorists from our citizens and our communities. And in a broader perspective, we will continue to adhere to the supreme goal that has guided us and has guided me through most of my adult life. Iran will not have nuclear weapons. And as long as I am Prime Minister of Israel, this will not happen. With unity of purpose, we will guarantee our existence and our future. We will do this with head held high, with firm standing and with patience. Our path, the path of the people of Israel, began thousands of years ago. And with God's help, it will continue from the Bible to eternity, the eternity of Israel.